we need security. With them, they already have security a lot of times. You know,
if I had security, I would be doing all kind of shit right now. But in the back of my mind, I think of, well, first of all, I like nice shit. So I like to buy
when you were talking about on the show, I'm like, what the fuck him doing in the world right now?
A lot.
Yeah. So I just made a recent purchase, and I'm like, you know what? I can't ever lose this job because I did, I like to do, hey, I like nicer things in life, and I like to buy things, do things, and then just to have a job. And I'm like, so you want the security, because I just can't imagine like just quit my job and say, okay, I'm going to do YouTube full time and I'm going to make thousands of dollars a month. And then when that shit don't happen and I'm like, and my mom was eating ramen noodles, like I would be so fucked up.
Love it, man. 25 lighters on my dresser, yes sir. I got to get paid. Bit that it won't be a little hit. Go read a book, you illiterate son of a bitch. Step up your vocab. Don't be surprised. Patience to these false accusations. They faking the shaking, cause the money you're making. Bricks some money on the dresser. Drive a compressor. Top notch. Get the most.
What's up, good people? Is your host, Mr. D713. Welcome back to Everything Culture. Right now, we have our co-host, G-Jack, as well as our guest host with the Vibe Killer podcast. We have Kimberly and Ashley. What's up, y'all?
Hi.
Okay. if y'all listen to the Makers of You, y'all know we have two interesting, beautiful, and just overall great podcasters we have here. And all in all, I'm happy to have them. Once again, Kimberly out of Tyler, Texas, East Texas, out there Cujo High, 2004.
It was Cujo, but it's not Cujo High anymore.
It's always Cujo High.
It
was always Cujo High. I don't know what it was before.
Tyler High, okay?
It's Cujo High. Cujo High. That's going to satisfy me. Okay, started here. And we have Ashley Davis. She's a current Tylerite and representative. What high school did you go to, Ashley?
Wills Point High School.
Wills Point High School.
So we didn't have all those big schools and stuff like that. Wills Point High School.
We had, and that's how I say, we get into the whole John Tyler versus Robert E. Lee. All that is in the past now.
I'm riding with John Tyler till I die. So, hey, I was up there with the protest when they was talking about the names.
Thank you, Ashley. We appreciate it.
And then I had to go back and forth.
And I was not.
Okay.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Didn't they just swindle everybody with that whole name thing, though?
It was.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Because I was on Instagram giving some people some knowledge.
I ain't finna fight with these people over it.
And I didn't even go to school there.
You see the post I made? Oh, we done made plenty of posts about it on Everything Culture too. But other than that, man, we've been over here chilling. We've been doing a little bit of sipping. We've been doing a lot of laughing. We've been doing some soul searching, and we wanted y'all to join us with this, okay? So, we just want to talk about a few things, and we come together as all podcasters within ourselves, and with the Vibe Killer podcast, it's just that they talk about what kills their vibe throughout their week, okay? And so, if I take a little bit from y'all, is anything killing y'all vibe today or this week? It's Saturday, y'all. So, how y'all doing?
Oh, Lord.
I'm trying to figure out if our president is out here lying or not. It's killing my vibe, because about 60% of me say that nigga lying, and about 40% say if he got it, that's what he gets.
That's what he gets. I don't see him doing no bleach. I don't see him doing that. Like he told everybody that you can get you some bleach. People was doing bleach enemas.
Yeah.
You lying?
Look, I was like,
I'm gonna really get rid of that Rona.
CNN was trying and CNN was trying to calm people's fears, and I was like, stop saying it. Ain't nobody fucked up about this.
Hey, you want to?
I don't wish the man no harm, but I'm saying I ain't gonna be out here shedding no tears.
Yeah, I'm all for keep that same energy, man, because some people are like F Trump every day, but then they want to be here like, oh, y'all wrong for wishing death on somebody and wish somebody gets surgery. Y'all need to just pray for him. Nah, nigga, you pray for him.
That's my thing right there. That's my thing.
Thoughts and prayers.
And are you gonna do that? The black prayer? I'm gonna pray for you. That's the prayer right there.
That was the prayer.
That was the prayer. I'm gonna pray for you.
Yeah.
It's so that was a good point, Kim. And I'm gonna say, Kim, their Vibe Killer podcast is not a political podcast, but
it is not. It's so much happening.
It's so much.
Every week we not gonna get political, and then he does something or something happens.
Man, hey, we went through the same thing. That's how we went through the same thing with season 2. Season 2 was going to be very diverse. Then we had to pull back. We had to talk about some black issues. We had to talk about some black folks right now. I'm sorry, y'all. We have to talk about we have to come together and congregate. But the thing about
we tried to do some stuff. We tried to do some like I think our first episode was about them black people fighting at the airport, and we tried, but then that next week I said, Kim, I'm pissed off. And the good thing about it is that when I go to work, I tell my boss, I was like, I'm in some type of mood, and I tell her that because, and she good thing that she is very liberal. Yeah. Because I was pissed off about with the Breonna Taylor, because I was like, I'm in some type of mood. And so she was like, okay. Oh, yeah.
And it also, there's a lot of vibe killers that's going on.
Yeah. And Elijah McClain.
Yeah,
that's real fucked up.
That boy was on the spectrum. And that's what pisses me off, is that he was just trying to live his best life, enjoy nature, enjoy being out there with the people. But
it's like they don't listen, man. Like you trying to tell them, hey, look, this is going on. They just automatically assume you're a bad person. They don't listen at all.
No,
that's why you have rules. That's why you had that foundation of rules. Like
it's being prejudiced. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, see, this is my issue with that, because since I work with students with disabilities, and right off the bat, I caught that he was on the spectrum. And the second thing was that if a white kid was walking around, because this is his social phobia, he needs to wear a mask, it would have been okay. He would have been living his best life. He'd been doing it for all this time. But y'all didn't do that. Y'all wouldn't do that to him. Oh, he's a white boy going minding his business. Like that's what pisses me off.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the vibe killer, but that's what we get on all these things. And I know we were having a conversation about what we're gonna take them to understand. The point of everything culture is trying to get people to understand us while we try to understand them. So I'll say the quote later on at the end of the show, so you'll know I ain't gonna say it right now. But it's aggravating. It really is. And the episode we had with the 2 LPCs come on, it was like tired of being sick and tired, and I'm like damn tired, because with this fake sympathy, like when we go back with Kimberly talking about with Trump, allegedly having COVID-19, him and Melania, whatever. It's like, I've seen people that literally said Breonna Taylor deserved to die. And these are black people, okay? Because she shouldn't even been dating a drug dealer in the first place. She shouldn't have put herself in that situation. But pray for Trump and the first lady. And I had to talk to my wife, because usually, I talk about this on my platform. Everything. This is something I created where I can talk about what I want to talk about. I wanted to go on their post, because as I say, I wanted to screenshot what they said. I still have the screenshot, and I wanted to put it in there. Why didn't you do the same thing for this woman here? What, like, that's like make me remove humanity from the whole situation. And you consider yourself a Christian. It's real hard where I'm a Christian. And I know Jesus is put here to love us, and people use the Bible for evil. Like I talk about it all the time. Watch the book of Eli. The book of Eli is a great representative of how I feel about our journey within Christ and how he can lead the blind. But you're going to see people that's going to want the word of God, but don't want to want faith in God in general. I ain't gonna be preaching to y'all right now. But the whole focus is, I've seen this happen so much in many Christians and are prejudiced. They don't want you to be happy. If Jesus is alive right now, y'all would kill Jesus. Y'all know that, right? Y'all wouldn't be down with Jesus. And y'all saying the government is here to protect us. People didn't kill Jesus. The government killed Jesus.
The government, yes.
So when I'm looking at this whole thing with Trump and how he's playing this game with y'all, he doesn't care about the people. He just cares about himself. And I'm like, as a Christian, I want to, like I said, man, I as a human being, I pray for God to do whatever he needs to do with that man right there. That's how I feel.
So he can do, man.
Because like with Hitler, do you want to pray for good health for Hitler if he was alive?
Mm.
That's how I compared. That's how now with him making that comment, stand by, stand by.
Yes.
That's basically in my terms like niggas get ready. Okay.
My license to carry arrives today. I got 2 pieces and I'm ammoed up.
So, like, but on real, but you in East Texas, you by yourself ain't enough. I will. That's a whole.
I know, but I'm just.
But you are going to protect yourself. That's a good thing.
And I'm trying to get on Kim's level because I'm like,
because you're basically dog whistling to them and you're giving them the signal like,
and they were ready. I don't know if y'all saw the news. They were like, "We ready, coach."
Like, and I'm like,
but the thing is, they are seem overweight and full of shit. Like it's like we've always had them type of prejudiced, racist white boys. They can't fight and they just talk a bunch of shit and they gonna do nothing.
But that's why guns. No, you can't say that. We can't say that. You're right about them being overweight and they can't fight, but that's why you made guns in the first place.
Well,
you can look at the kid that was the 7-year-old kid that killed those 2-3 people, was shot. How many people he shot? Was it 4 people that was shot?
He shot 3.
Shot 3 and killed.
He killed 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
His motherfucking ass is a perfect example. At 17 doing that fuck shit.
His mom brought him there.
And gave him the gun. Because he was 17, he shouldn't have had that gun anyway. So that's a perfect example. Like, we can't say they won't do shit. Because they're doing shit. Same
they will.
Motherfuckers running people over in cars, and they're protected by the police. Absolutely protected by the police. The police is like sending them out there. You giving me an extra hand. I'm being known as a good citizen and shit. When
they thanked him.
Here fighting,
they thanked him for being there.
And that's why I don't like about with Donald is because, or is still in the presidential seat because he's literally causing anarchy in his own country. He's splitting people apart.
But he said he is the best president for the black people and bringing everybody together.
And
the one point they all try to make is money. It's like, I give y'all niggas money, y'all just accept that shit, right? Like everybody, like, well, yeah, y'all love Trump and y'all got the stimulus check. Nigga, everybody got that stimulus check. It wasn't just black people.
The dead people got the dead
people had no choice. It was in my account, and
it's still in my account.
Yeah.
I haven't removed it from the account yet. I haven't touched it.
Did y'all know that they?
It didn't last 15 minutes with me.
Okay, see, like he too financially responsible, so we not. Yeah. But
whenever we get on the shopping topic.
We're about to roll into that right now.
But do you know? Okay, first of all, I have still not received my tax return. I'm just gonna put that out.
It's a personal problem.
I'm still trying to wait for my tax return. Like, before y'all get another check, I need to get my tax return.
No, that's a personal problem. I need that second check.
Y'all get money back. That must be nice.
Yeah, and y'all got kids, right?
No, it's just me. So I ain't got no.
I don't have any kids either.
I want my monies. Like, I want my check.
The second stimulus.
I knew my life was gonna be like this when I was in high school. I'm telling you, my senior year, I started looking at how Democrats think and how Republicans think, and I was like, Democrat people look like, everybody need to help each other out. I just simplified it for myself. Not just saying I may be wrong. I simplified it for myself.
Are you Republican?
No.
Okay.
I'm not a Democrat either, though. When I define myself, I do not put Lord Jesus. I was a Democrat. No, I don't. I'm a African American, black male that is married, Christian. That's what I am.
Wow.
Democrat is not in that list.
I understand that.
So it's like, because think about it, I have to use that, and I don't vote down the line because I worked in CPS. And I've seen different attorneys and judges. Yeah. And I understand, like, if you go down the line, I don't pay attention. You got some Democrats that ain't shit.
Yes, I agree.
Just keep it a buck. You got Republicans that are pretty good. Some Republican presidents or candidates and judges and individuals and with justice of peace, they could be really good. But it's really.
I overall agree, but I do define myself as a Democrat that can be swayed. But my issue is that. Do the Democrats do some shady stuff? Yes, but you don't see that party out here openly embrace until the Republican Party stop openly embracing bigotry and racism and all that. Can't do it.
And that's trying to splash a little God on it here and there.
Yeah, and that's the face that it represents. We need to start looking at individuals. That's what we have to start doing.
But
that's too hard to do that though. It's
and
too
I know,
hard
but we have to.
Because I would not wear a badge on me if I knew for a fact you got a Republican president out here doing what he's doing, and they just stand back and they just like, well, I didn't see it, or I didn't hear it, or he didn't mean it, or he misspoke. Mm-hmm. You're openly putting that badge on you that you do not fuck with people of color, and I will not get with it. I don't care how good you are.
That's like Ted Cruz. You see, the other day he was on the news, and no dude said, "Man, the president called your wife ugly, and you didn't do shit about it."
That's a prime example, because you're so worried about your status or about Daniel Cameron.
Yeah,
prime example of, instead of standing by what was good. I haven't listened to the tapes yet of the Breonna Taylor yet.
I don't think they released them yet.
They did.
Okay.
But I haven't. There's no transcript for it, but that's fine. I can listen to the recording. He did not even ask for murder charges. He didn't even ask for manslaughter. He was like, "Well, this is what we need to do," and so that's why
he was protecting the police. He was protecting who's going to, and that's
his
the point.
interest.
Because I've seen all sides. I hate gang mentality. I hate because if I put myself as a Democrat, then I'm doing the same thing the Republicans are doing. Mm-hmm. Same shit. Mm-hmm. I can't hear no other side other than the people talking to me. Mm-hmm. I'm completely shutting someone else out. Mm-hmm. And that's how I've been saying.
Are you though?
Republicans. That's how I look at it.
Because I've always been a Democrat, but even back when we were in high school and the whole 9/11 thing happened, mm-hmm. and all of that, there was a time in my life where I did not I was young, didn't quite understand everything, but I have watched Fox News before. I have listened to the conservative ideals, and every now and then still I'll listen to it. I haven't heard anything yet that made me think, oh, okay, y'all on the right track. But I mean, just because I'm a Democrat, I'm open to listening.
Okay.
And that's the thing. Democrats are more open to listening. Republicans are shut it down. Came across
all Democrats.
Yeah, because I was like, there's some of us that
I can't.
Get wild out there.
Okay.
We're citizens no matter what. We got to say we're individuals no matter what. That's first and foremost. Yeah. So that's why I say I appreciate Obama so much, because in my lifetime, he was one of the first presidents to say, hey, forget the party system. Mm-hmm. Let's come together as one. And I will say Republicans were like, fuck that. Okay, they were like, nope, I'm not going to do it.
And there's some Democrats that don't like Obama for that very reason.
That's my point. So that's my point. I'm like, how are we going to win if we can't do it together?
Well, there's a lot of people that said there should not be a party system.
And I'm one of those people.
And I agree.
If they smash it away, I'll be like, now we
then, because like with Tyler, we already know that if you run on a Democratic platform, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be like that, because I mean, it's even down to like the sheriff office, because he ran Republican. Like, okay, what's his name? Kim, you remember? Gorman. Yes. He tried to switch it up to run Republican, because
then that shows a lack of integrity. Either you're gonna run on what you stand on, or you're gonna switch it up just to try to get something, because then that tells me I don't really know, because you say you this, but then you over here with this. So he's trying to play the game though.
He's trying to play the game.
It's politics.
And that's what's the problem.
You played the wrong game, because you still didn't get in there.
He didn't get in there because he was black. Nobody was going to put a black sheriff into office. Yeah. No, even though he worked right under J.R. Smith, I think that's his name, J.B. Smith. Even though he was his right hand. Nigga man.
Man, let's get off politics.
I'm gonna throw one more thing. Look, I like when you brought it back to Tyler. It used to kill me when I was in high school. Like I was supposed to go to Lee. Okay. Ooh. I went to Hubbard and I was supposed to transfer into Lee. But I ended up moving to the north, living with my auntie and going to John Tyler.
Ooh, and these are illegal addresses.
No. I ended up living now half of Hubbard. I was supposed to be at Bolter, I believe, but I was going to. But when I came to John Tyler, I accepted John Tyler wholeheartedly, and I started to see the fucked up shit they used to put against John Tyler versus Lee.
Yes.
John Tyler, it was majority of negative things in the newspaper about John Tyler.
Yeah.
And that's what people always say, why do
It's
John Tyler
politics.
people, even when you graduate, why do you go so hard for John Tyler? Like, they can't see it, but I'm like, we were there. And when you see, even as kids, when you see the inequity, and I just remember being in band having to beg for uniforms and instruments, and then you look across the way and they've got everything, and how John Tyler has to fight for so much. And you look around and it's black and brown kids. So I'm not saying that.
One thing I will say though is, even this is even with HBCUs, for some reason black people don't give back though. I guarantee you somebody at Lee parents probably pay for them damn uniform.
Of course.
They more like, we ain't relying on the system. We just gonna make the shit happen if we need it to happen. For us, we're like, I ain't got it.
And that's why they were saying that there needs to stop being property tax with the divide. It just needs to be spread out to everybody.
But then you're going to have people cheating the system, paying only $750 in income tax. So imagine what they would do to get out of property taxes.
Shit. But no, and that's okay. So when I moved to Tyler, when I started dating person, I went really hard for John Tyler. But then I started learning the history of it. And I was like, down for the cause, let's do this. Because I ain't never been to I've been to all of John Tyler games, but never went. And that was one of the biggest things that I was just like, wow, this history in Tyler is so rooted. Like, and then finding out that in 1984 that they finally had to force them
to take the damn flag. I don't know what you gonna say, but take the damn flag away, the Confederate flag in the late 1980s from being known as. Hold on one second.
Well, I was gonna say was that they had to force them to integrate.
Yeah,
and they didn't want them to eat. They didn't want to go. They didn't want their white kids going to what was it? Emmett Scott school. They didn't want their white kids to touch their precious booty cheeks on the Emmett Scott. So that's why they, but they fled from John Tyler because they didn't want to go to school with black.
The whole point of Robert Lee being started.
Yes.
To continue with segregation.
Yes.
That's why
that she was going to keep working.
Yes.
And they wanted a joint school, but they can't have a joint school because there's a certain segment in Tyler that they're not going to bust their kids and they're not going to bust them to the north. Nope. And everything is going to be geared toward benefiting that side of town.
But the south of Tyler used to be where black people used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the thing about it. They gentrified. It wasn't called gentrification back then. It was like get your nigger ass on out of here.
Get your nigger ass up to the north.
Yeah. And that's why Tyler grew south instead of north, which would have been in our economical benefit to grow towards the interstate.
Yep. And it's just so much history just in that small town.
What is that highway that they built so they don't even have to go 49. To the north. Yes, Loop 49. Yes, so that you don't even have to go through North Tyler. That's why they're building everything towards that loop. So, hey, we don't even have to go through the north.
So for me, everything that you're saying, like what we're saying, for me, it goes beyond just the rivalry. And like, when I look at it, like I said, I was at JT in the 2000s, but like my sister was there in the 90s and like in the 80s.
And my sister was the same.
When that stuff meant something and we would go to the games and like they had to have it on a Saturday afternoon because of all the stuff that would happen and how the black kids were treated. And so it's rooted in a lot. And people just kind of want
on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
I never knew that. I just knew that like the rivalry game was always on Saturday, but I didn't know there was a reason behind it.
Yeah. So it's like, it's not that I hate it's just everything that's behind it and just how we were treated and how things aren't equitable. That's the part that eats me.
Yeah. What pisses me off is seeing those black kids when they are holding the Texas flag when they're running out like the football players. That drives me nuts because I'm like, do you understand who you running for? Do you understand why they have that flag? So that because that was during the time when President Obama was in office. And that pissed me off because I was like, these kids don't know shit.
With the Texas flag. So what flag represents you then?
I'm going to have to go with the American flag because it ain't Texas because they did not give us our rights for 2 years.
And you think the American flag represents you?
Well, because I understand. I mean, I don't have an African
ain't
flag.
running with
So
no
how
flag. I ain't
about
running with no flag.
You know what flag I run with? That Kim, you know we have a Juneteenth flag. You know that, right?
And I'm down with Juneteenth, but I ain't running with no damn flag. Just my hands gonna be empty.
First of all, Kim don't go to the Juneteenth parade.
Ashley, you lying. You lying.
Oh, see.
Look,
First of all, went to plenty of Juneteenth parades and celebrations now. So let me just.
I haven't been in a minute, about like 3
But
months.
when you got jobs and you got stuff to do.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I have not. I've gone to one Juneteenth, but once I saw all the cars out there, I seen everybody with their cars and their rims and all that stuff. I was like, this ain't the parade for me.
Oh no, that's the good part. I like the parade. I don't like the chilling after the parade.
I'm with you. I'll go to the parade, but I ain't going to the park because y'all we don't be acting right.
Nah.
Usually I don't see fighting on Juneteenth. I don't. Yeah. I don't see a lot of fighting.
Oh, I ain't been in a while either though. But as an adult, when I've only gone to the parade. I never go to the park.
Yeah, I stay right on North Confederate.
And then I really don't know nobody who'll be at the park, so I just go.
Yeah, it's New York, but. Like when I start up here in Seattle, once again, it's a completely different vision. I talked about Juneteenth in my all staff meeting, I wrote a full blog about it, whatever. Because up here in Seattle, people are doing quiet marches and silent. We don't do that for Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a party. Juneteenth Jubilee. You turn up for Juneteenth. This is a big thing.
Submit HR tickets because my old retail job wouldn't let me have off for Juneteenth. And I was like, y'all tripping. Because it was only a few of us black people. And I'm like, on this schedule, you can't let us be off because this means something to us. Before it became popular, I was like, let me off for Juneteenth. Y'all be taking off for July 4th.
But go check out.
Dice.
I don't celebrate July. I'm telling it's so weird.
Wait. You don't celebrate Juneteenth?
I don't celebrate July 4th.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Juneteenth.
I stopped.
No, I stopped because remember we did the Juneteenth episode. We have a whole episode in 2019 talking about Juneteenth.
Yep. Wow.
And I made a comment about how I don't rock with it. A whole year later, people are like, start celebrating Juneteenth. I'm like, and people saying some things. I'm like, I'm glad. I'm not saying, we've been saying that, but I'm glad other people are catching up too.
Because all of a sudden this year with all of the racial strife, now everybody's all Juneteenth and everyone. I'm like, it ain't always been like that. This has been a Southern thing, and then now everybody's starting to jump on it.
It's a Texas thing.
It's a Texas.
I told you we was at work one time and this black girl was talking about being out for Juneteenth or whatever. No, she said she was being out for the weekend. It was Juneteenth weekend. And white girl was like, well, what's going on this weekend? What's so special about this weekend? She looked at us like, it's Juneteenth, bitch. I was like, damn. That white girl bring that up every Juneteenth. She's like, remember that time such and such told me it's Juneteenth?
That's awesome. She said
there need to be a shirt. It's Juneteenth, bitch.
So, hey, you know, black folks make a shirt out of anything.
Hey,
Ashley, you do have a cricket, right? But okay, all right.
I got one.
Hey, let's make. You got one too?
Yeah,
I got everything.
Oh, we got to talk then, for real. But my thing is, I'm looking at Juneteenth. We get on that. Should that be African American, descendant of slave, American slave, blood only holiday? Just like we have Yom Kippur and.
Yeah, we all celebrate Cinco de Mayo, and they ain't even Mexican Independence Day.
Do you get off for Cinco de Mayo?
But
we celebrate it though.
My point is,
you can celebrate it, but
holiday,
should we get a day off? That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
we don't get
every other white holiday, July 4th, and most jobs you
Columbus
have Columbus Day.
Labor
so
Day.
You know what?
And Labor Day,
I mean,
Memorial Day,
technically
really
though,
black
I hate to play
Day.
devil's advocate, but technically, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a lot of white people celebrate July 4th, but you can't really say it's a white holiday though, because we are living in America.
It's a white American
people,
holiday.
That was Independence Day for.
I mean, I'm off. I'm
out,
for all of America. So technically, it is for everybody, even though it wasn't at the time. Technically, it is for. We're celebrating our freedom now.
It's a certain culture.
I used to celebrate it, but I can't get with it now.
Because we are that's why we're African American. We're forced into that. Because we can't celebrate. Like yesterday was National Nigerian Day. Nigerian.
They will not.
It was Nigerian Independence Day. Okay.
Well, my Ancestry.com say otherwise, so I can celebrate it if I want to.
They will not allow. First of all, Nigerians They treat us completely different.
I can't say that. I can't say all. I can't because once again, I can't say, but I've had some, and I had when I was at U of H. Just one thing I would say.
Oh, U of H,
we talked about the flags. So, I represent the Juneteenth flag because that's my culture heavily. I'm from Texas. I'm African American. You can call me black, but I consider myself African American because I'm American slave blood. And I'm like, that's me. I used to represent the Texas flag, but when I learned more about the Juneteenth flag, I'm like, that's me.
I never knew there was a Juneteenth flag, but
I have it for you in a second. But
don't have me flying it because
it looks good. But look at the history behind it. That's the biggest thing. Look at the meaning behind it. Yeah. Okay, and that meaning, I'm like, not only it represents me, I stand behind what it stands for. Yeah. So. Same thing with the American flag. I'm American no matter what. If I go to another country, I'm American. When I go to other states, I represent Texas. That's how I am. I have some own. When I talk about how I got John Tyler, I'm TJC, I'm U of H. All these things make me who I am to an extent, but it's because I represent them. It represents me to an extent as well. But when it comes down to the aspect of holidays, I'm like, Juneteenth, should it be a holiday for everyone once again, or should it be for American slaves? Because I look at it like some religious holidays for certain religions. If they get off for it, should we get off of that as well? So I just, there it is right there. GJ got it. That's a Juneteenth right there. There you go.
My thing though that I think I'm sorry, Ashley, but I was just gonna say that when you open it, there's two sides to the coin, because sometimes when you open it up, people hijack stuff and turn it into something that wasn't the intent.
True.
As with all of the Black Lives Matter things going on right now. But if you open it up, because a lot of times why we don't have progress in race relations and cultural relations is because those conversations are had amongst Black people talk and then white people talk. And then when they get together, because a lot of times what I see or white people are scared to say whatever it is that they feel or think, because they know if they don't say it the right way, we finna jump in, come in.
And that is the truth.
Super sensitive. I can't say that. We are super sensitive for a reason though. And
I get why we do it, but it's like, turn it down, maybe listen to it, because you can't educate to closed ears and a closed mind. So
speak on it.
If you set that up, then we're never ever gonna break this, and we're always gonna be Black people over here, white people over here, and everybody else in their own little segments. Exactly.
That's what we try to do here. Oh, and pass Kimberly the plate, somebody. Just pass the plate around to Kimberly. We start doing, people thought they cash out. We start doing our lives.
Yes.
Because she's correct. And that's why we do. I mean, she's absolutely correct. I want to bring people together. I'm not, maybe it'll work, maybe it'll not, but I want to try, because I've seen some very prejudiced Black people in my life still. I've had Black people get mad because I'm doing this right here. Why you want to learn about different cultures? First, fuck you. Like, what is wrong with you? Like,
I hate the term "that's white people shit."
Oh my god!
You do something different, but that's white people shit.
Oh, I'm guilty of that.
Oh my god! Yeah, you did. You say shit on the show.
I do it sometimes too, though.
But it's because you've been brought up into that. Once again, me being from Tyler, the reason why we started this. Tyler is one of the most segregated places I've lived in my life. Okay, you have Black, white, and Mexican. That's it. I don't know if it's changed over the years.
I think it's gotten worse. I'm not saying it worse, but I'm thinking like the district line has gotten
stronger.
Stronger.
Okay. Because when I went to U of H, man, same thing. Y'all had a little, like when your mom told you, Ashley, don't let certain men do certain things to you. Y'all gotta listen to the Mexicans view about that. But I was told, make sure to remember who your God is. Remember Jesus Christ died for your sins, and don't get, remember who you are. But I went there and I see why. 'Cause I saw a lot of different things when I came to the H. Okay, but I also I went to, one of the big changes where I pushed on. I had a world religion class, and I learned different. And that's why I think when you're speaking about, when I asked why you still Christian, and you're thinking now. I know I'm still Christian, even though I've learned so much about other religions.
That's wow.
And it was a big eye opener. And one of the things that kind of set me back was one of the professor was like, I know whoever Christians in this room right here, don't ever put your beliefs on other people and talk down on this and that. Like, I was like, wait, no, I was like, Bitch, you can say that towards nobody else. It was only 3 Christians in the class. It was only 2 black people, and I was only black male in the class. So I was the minority. And I'm like, but I understand how the world has looked down on everyone else. And I'm like, this must be what white people feel like. Because I'm the minority right now. And well, I've been the minority, but as being a Christian, you try to hold to something bigger. But at the end of the day, I really did want to learn about different cultures. I really want to learn about how they pray, how they celebrate, and they're really not that much different from us.
The thing is, you just got to be open to it, man. If you open to learning new things and like not going in it like with emotion, going in it with like
your
a pure heart.
Notions.
Yeah, and it's okay to disagree with somebody, but you ain't got to cuss them out if you disagree with them.
Let's say your shit is wrong. Let's say your shit is wrong.
And see, one of the biggest things that with Christianity. Okay, so I don't know if y'all heard of the story where this white missionary, he wanted to go. There's this tribe that's in the Amazon that has never been touched, has never been
one of the colonized. Go ahead.
Yes, and he wanted to go spread the word of the gospel. I was like, why do we need to?
Is that the one that got shot and killed?
Killed. They killed him.
Oh, yeah,
they killed him.
Yeah.
And I was like, but that was his God mission to go down there and spread the word of God. I was like, they doing fine. Like what makes us as Christians feel like our religion is superior?
But we're not the only ones though, because to make this, so I know y'all know for a fact, y'all know who I'm getting ready to talk about, but there was a conversation that I had with someone who was into all of like the Black Hebrew or the true Hebrews and all this stuff. And these conversations that was being had was coming at me in a very aggressive, and the very things that we say we're against, you taking it now and you're doing it. And you're never going to change people. You're never going to bring people to your side coming that way. And I'm not going to subscribe to no religion where it's hate, where it's rooted in hate, and we pitting ourselves against people. And I was like, well, if this is what my ticket into heaven is, then I probably won't get there because I'm never getting with this that you trying to say to me. And you preaching to me for an hour, making me feel like shit because I ate a piece of bacon. Like, no.
I don't know if it was I'm assuming this was a hotel.
I don't know what the current name is now. I no longer have any dealings with that person. So, yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about, but I'm just going to keep it shaking. Like, but it kind of goes into shame. My biggest thing is stop shaming people, man. Stop make people feeling bad for what they like and what they prefer. And I know Miguel said it best. Okay. Y'all know who Miguel is, correct?
The singer, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I was like, well, yeah.
Come on. Okay. Just checking.
I was like, not sure where we going with this.
No, I'm just checking. We're going. Y'all remember about 5, 6, 7 years ago, Miguel was at a BET concert having a good time. He was at the prime of his career, and he got a little bit too turned, and he jumped, and he, accidentally hurt a fan. He like leg
kicked him. Yeah.
I mean, completely leg dropped off the top rope, okay?
Yes, he did. Yes,
and black. If you're on Twitter, you know about Black Twitter, okay?
Oh, best thing in the world.
Man, it could be the best thing or it could be the worst thing.
Yeah, depending on which side you on.
Exactly. It's like, and they tore him apart. And he was like, man, and he said it, Black people are the biggest critics and hypocrites ever. They tear each other down so bad. And I've seen sides, and
we don't give anybody room to breathe and make mistakes. There's no room. Either you or you and I. Either we love you or we don't. And as soon as we don't, we tear you down and cancel you.
Even if we love you, we still go talk about you though. That's the thing about it. In my family, we love you. We go talk about you. And I'm like, man, the new word now is toxic. Like that's a lot of toxic ass behavior. Like I've talked to like my family and like I don't like gossip. I don't like all that shit. But it's like, man, like playing the dozens. We all like if you rode bus 44 growing up in Tyler, Texas, you had to learn how to score on people, the rank on people. If you went to John Tyler, somebody go talk but that's a problem that can we ever resolve? Because Atlanta did an episode about it. FUBU with the kid with the FUBU jersey. Like you going to school and you're being talked about, but not having designer labels on your clothing and stuff like that, and they make you feel bad to the point where kids can go and commit suicide. You know.
Well, to turn that around to kind of what we talked about, where people question why I am how I am, because that is some of the reasons. Because people judge you so much, or if you're a little bit just different, or you say something, people could feel like they can say anything. And so I always feel like people feel like they can say anything to me, and I'm supposed to just laugh it off. And you laugh it off as a defensive mechanism. But then people are like, why are you always to yourself in a corner? Why don't you talk? Like, because I internalize it. And now when I'm in social settings, I'm so amped up and keyed up because I'm trying to wait, like, who finna rank on me? Who finna say this? Who finna question why I'm doing this or that? Make me feel less than, make me feel this way. And so then you look at people as adults and we can't figure out why they are like they are. Well, if you take the time to look, it's right there. And especially in the Black culture, because how we do people, even when we think we're joking and kidding, and things sometimes hit deep and you can't shake it.
I'm like this. Go ahead, Ashley.
Well, I was going to talk about when I moved to Wills Point, I was away from my cousins who were my protectors, who we were all down for. And I had to go to a new school. And let me just tell you this, like, I had to ride the black bus. I was not, I lived on the black side of town and I hated it. I still to this day hated it. And it's just like, because I was in band, I was doing all these great things, striving in education, but they tore me down. As like, they wouldn't let me sit with them because I had an instrument. Like, that's how bad it was on the black. And it was to a point where I remember there was 2 buses that passed my house. The white bus didn't want to pick us up because we were too close to the black part of town where we should be riding the black bus. So that was a big argument, was like, who's supposed to pick us up? Well, guess what? The black bus had to start picking us up. And those kids were just as mean as the white kids. They wouldn't let me sit with them. They would like, so you got all A's and stuff. Oh, you in the band, you a bander, you a black, because I didn't excel in sports, but I was good at academics. So it was like, who do I belong to?
Yeah.
And like, that was one of the biggest things that I learned.
Do y'all believe though that like bullying is necessary though?
No, I mean, helpful. So, I mean, teasing is, to a certain extent, it's just a part of life. Yeah. But most people know when you're crossing the line. I have been in things where I've said things, I'm like, you know what, Kim, that was kind of a shitty move. You coming in too hot, too hard, even as a child. And kind of like what Ashley was saying, it's like, people always say, oh, Kim, you always wore jackets and hoodies. You know why? Because I wanted to disappear. Like, I wanted to be by myself. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be like, because, kids are mean and they know they're mean and you know what you're doing. Yeah. And it's just like, so you can tease people. I mean, you don't want to rub soft, but you don't want to break people down.
And
that's what we do.
And I mentioned that during the makings of you. I was like, man, like Kim was always the quiet girl in class. And I'm like, and when I listen to Vibe Killers, that's why I've been listening. I'm like, I'm finally hearing this girl talk. And I love it, and I'm like, and when she was and I appreciate you even right now explaining that, because it's a lot of other people that's in your position now in life, and even though this is a mature audience conversation at times, but these kids are grown anyway, and I hope if someone is touching someone that let them understand because I'm glad, like I said, I hope it's touching someone that may need to hear it, because you may not find yourself until you leave your hometown, you go off to college, you find a different group of people, you find that we use words like weird and they're different and all that. And even though when I hear the question, like I've seen on social media, were you popular in high school? I'm like, I actually don't know if I was popular in high school or not, and some people may think I was, some people may think I wasn't, but
yes, how you feel about it.
Yeah. And I like at the end of the day, and as I said, at the end of the day, I still consider myself a weird kid, like it's a lot of things where I had my group of friends, a lot of my homeboys I really hung out with was on the other side of town, that went to Robert E. Lee. I had homeboys at JT, but it was one of the things that I didn't want to play the politics game. I can be friends with anyone I want to be friends with, but some people want to put me in a group. No, you hang with these dudes, you can't hang out with these dudes. You know, you like this group of girls, you can't like this group of girls, and I'm like, but why?
Yeah, like why? Yeah.
And like if I like eating cheese on top of my grits, whatever the case may be, oh, you don't like that?
What does that have to do with you?
Yeah, like I love the term that I've heard recently is "don't yuck my yum." You know? Like that was new to me. I'm like, but it's real.
I never heard that.
But it's real. If you like something, what the fuck does it have to do to you with you?
Yeah.
It's going to bother you for me liking it.
I think another thing, just in society, but especially around Black people, we need to make it like more acceptable to be able to express how you really feel. Like, because I think sometimes when you like making fun of somebody or teasing somebody, even if they laugh it off, you think it's just a thing y'all have going. You don't know you're going too far.
Yeah.
You know, so like I had to learn as an adult, you know, you like raising kids and stuff, especially as my oldest son got older, it's like you realize these little small things that I didn't know that this was bothering you. You need to say something. So as an adult, it helped me learn like, hey, if something bothers me, I need to fucking say something and don't just hold that shit in and let a motherfucker just keep on, and then I get mad and we ready to fight. You know?
And see, like, even me and Ashley, we did a tongue-in-cheek episode, What Gets Your Black Card Snatched, and we were laughing because, you know, there's certain things that Black people think that all Black people do and all Black people know, and we put each other in this box. But even just that episode, and we joke with each other because me and Ashley know each other like that, and that was kind of like the point of the show. But we were touching on some things that, like, I'm pretty sure if people listen, they be like, oh, you ain't Black because you don't like that, or you ain't this because you don't. And then people say things, and it's like, it's fine to disagree, but don't keep pressing on it because you don't know what buttons are behind this facade that we all wear. And while you're, you know, attacking me for something, you don't know what's behind it, and you don't know the damage that you're doing to someone's psyche.
Absolutely.
And
well, that goes back to now as African Americans, like we have to have two faces. Like we cannot in the workplace, we cannot be our true selves. And like, you know, even me walking into when I walk into the office, I'm in some type of mood. Like, you know, that's a way to say, hey, you're not gonna get this Ashley today. You might get this one. And it's so, but a lot of people aren't able to do that. We have to wear this mask where we're listening to you being racist, talking to us, saying all these things, and we haven't like say, well, because we don't want to come off as an angry Black person.
And some people go to the point of assimilating. They believe what these people are saying because they have money and power that they're right.
Yeah.
And I've seen, like I said, I've been seeing some of my previous classmates from John Tyler say some stupid ass shit. And I'm like, you got to the point that you done got some of these white folks' money. Now you're trying to act like the people on the paper. Lo and behold, they go with change your life. And I think, but they may have been bullied. They may have been teased. They may like, I look at Candace Owens. I look at, man, I know. Hey, we're not fans of her here. But I would love to have on the show to get her to know her upbringing, childhood, and like everything I asked her to make is you. What her life like? You know, what experiences did she have?
And she might have been because when I was in high school, I kind of related more. I hung out more with the white kids.
Hey, if I didn't go to John Tyler, I said it all the time. If I went, because I went to Rice, I went to Hubbard, and if I would have went to Lee, I may not be the person y'all hear right now.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. You'd be straight Republican.
And like when I went to SFA, which SFA is a PWI, I was shell shocked because I was like, there's a lot of Black people that I'm not used to seeing. The parties and all that stuff, I was not used to it. I hang out more with the white people. I didn't want to sit in the cafeteria because I knew that I might get ragged on. Or I would go sit in the office, like so I would work the front desk of the principal's office so that I wouldn't have to sit out there. So those are the things that I would do.
Cafeteria has never been anywhere that I would sit, even to this day. Like, and like when I was at TJC, and you know that main strip, I don't even know if y'all went to. Yeah, y'all went to TJC.
Yeah, I went to TJC.
Main strip, like I would literally walk. I would almost be late to a class because I did not want to walk to the main part from like Jenkins and where the student center. Because literally, I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to be judged. I just wanted to like get my ass to class and get gone, and then hang with, like Ashley say, like sometimes I would find myself hanging with different people. And the best thing that I ever did for myself was when I went off to school to TWU and got away and experienced totally different people, because I just grew up never feeling like I fit in, never felt attracted, like never felt nothing. And then you go off.
That's why. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then you get around other people, and then that's when you find yourself. And I mean, does all of that go away? No. But now at my 34 years old, I'm like, well, you ain't gotta like me, but you ain't finna fuck. Like, I already got my own baggage, and I'm not finna let you add to it, because I'm not finna get charged all these damn baggage fees. So
like, you feel me? Okay. I use the end. Like, I'm telling you, when I think of that, y'all need to like put a little bit of background, just a little bit of that Kendrick Lamar, bitch, don't kill my vibe.
I wanted to, but I was like, I ain't trying to get nobody coming to me talking about what is it, copyright law or nothing. Like that.
If R. Kelly wasn't R. Kelly, you could put that R. Kelly song in there.
I know.
Which one?
That would really be jamming.
Which one?
The one he talking about, Aaliyah. Little bit of Aaliyah got that vibe.
We talked about this before. That's like, if I was the prosecutor, that's enough I need to put in. Because he was 26, she was 12 when that song came out. 12. Fucking pedophile.
And then we're gonna talk about that, because Black folks, because I had this conversation with a group of friends, and I was like, they was like, well, why do y'all think that we're going so hard with R. Kelly? I said, we have to understand that R. Kelly is one of our uncles. He's one of our grandfathers that we have allowed.
It's weird that you
do
said
this through.
There's a lot of people, not my family, but a lot of uncles have done some weird shit to them.
And we have to understand, it's more than just R. Kelly. These are family members that have abused us. And we said, well, the system is so corrupt that we don't want our family member to go to jail. But they keep doing this to all the family members.
See, so that's social work, right?
We wanted to bring up this topic before, and we can talk about it now. But Black secrets, like not as in dark secrets, but Black family secrets.
Yes.
What is the fucking deal with that shit? Because you'll find out. I'm still finding out stuff in my 30s. And I'm like, why the hell y'all didn't say nothing a long time ago?
Yeah.
And it just makes those so awkward,
Yes.
Like, just tell the truth from the start.
Right. Well, one of my aunts, she's I've told you, and she's a crackhead. She don't know who her real daddy is, because we found out that our grandmother was raped by the guy that she was working for. But nobody wanted to tell that secret. Why is my cousin light-skinned with good hair, blue eyes? My aunt has really curly hair, light skin, but nobody wants to talk about this. My grandfather was dark as hell. My grandmother's dark as hell, but she comes out with light. But they wanted to play this. Oh, well, we have this uncle that he was light skinned and blue eyes.
Yeah, that's just Black people genetics. It be like that. Nah, hell nah.
Stop it. And now, my grandmother is 90. The man has passed away. He was a banker in Kaufman, a big known guy in Kaufman. And now he passed away last year. So now we want to share these secrets, because my grandmother is still having night terrors from it.
Damn.
And now she finally talked about it. And so I'm just like, why the hell did we wait so long? Why? Okay, first of all, I've gone to college. I've taken biology. I know what that doesn't equal out. But yet we will go to our graves with that. And even my mom, like, I try to get her to talk about stuff, and she's like, I'm gonna go to my grave with that. I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why do you want to go to your grave?
Hey, is it the G code to an extent? Like, it's in my family, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna remember this man a different way than a lot of people could remember him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He was a good man. He did all this and that. But everything in his, it was some shit in his closet. And I like, should you keep your closet open at all times? That's the thing about it. That and I'm seeing both sides of it.
Yeah. And Black people, we're just very dysfunctional sometimes.
And it's not just us. We can't just say Black people.
Well, I know. But I'm just speaking from the perspective
the perspective
that I know. Like, I can't speak on any other culture, but like, I just know, like, because you asked, why do we always have these deep, dark secrets that come out? And it's like, because I think we try to protect ourselves from the outside world, because we always taking on stuff we don't deserve, or, that's unfair. Yeah. So it's like, we not finna add to it, but then it kind of hurts us in turn because we internalize it, we hide it, it's toxic, it's dysfunctional. And then we wonder why certain things happen like they happen. It's like, because we don't deal with it as it should be done. And I know other people do it, but I can only speak on my people.
Yeah,
especially when it hold on real quick, especially when it comes to like knowing who your dad is sometimes.
Yes.
Like motherfuckers be lying. It's so many people in the Black community that don't, like, the whole family, but won't nobody tell the actual kid,
Yeah. Can I because I talk because I'm gonna talk about this because
kind of hit off.
It's my truth. The man that was supposed to be my dad, right? Come to find out, he was married. I never met the woman, but his mom, my supposed grandmother, my aunt, I would go over to their house, but I never went to his house. I have a brother. I don't have a brother now, but there was a brother that was older than me. Never met him. And I was like, so y'all kept this secret from this wife? And I finally asked, because for some reason, I call him Stanley. Well, sleep with that. His name is SR, because he's not my dad anymore, but he still contacts me just to check on me, see how I'm doing. And one of the things I asked him, I said, what really happened between you and my mom? I said, I want to know the truth. And he's like, well, your mom's going to say one thing and I'm going to say another. I said, but I want to know what you do. What did you do? And come to find out, like, he was married while he was dating my mom. And he thought but I was like, but did your wife ever think about or heard anything about me? And he was like, well, she heard, but she didn't know. And I was like, it pissed me off, because I was like, your family kept that lie from her, and we never really found out the truth. And I was like, and we kept this lie going for 13 years until it was time to do a paternity test. And now that's when we find out, I don't have another daughter. So I don't have to tell you the truth. But yet you would come, that's the reason why I only saw you for Christmas and birthday. That's the only reason why I never went to your house. I would only go to my aunt's or my grandmother's house. And
just to clarify, that he thought you were his daughter.
Uh-huh.
But kind of found when DNA came out, you were not his daughter.
Yes. But I was still treated as the other child.
At the same time, though, like, he was doing wrong because he was married. So whatever karma he got from that's on him. You live your truth. You ain't got to worry about this shit.
No, and I don't, because it took me a long time.
Just go ahead and get that DNA too. I tell dudes all the time.
I say don't go on, well, he looks like me, because they said the same thing.
Look just like him. He got
I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that shit. I don't, because I'm like, I lived that lie for 13 years thinking I was this man's child because I looked like him. I had the cheekbone. I had all this looking like him, and then all of a sudden I wasn't. So fuck that. Get that DNA test from the get-go.
I'm pro DNA and I'm pro child support. But that's good. I've said it quite a bit. But I know it's like we can go on. And man, y'all are more than welcome to come back, and we look forward to having y'all this Sunday, this Sunday. Not this Sunday, but the Sunday after your episode. So we can have our stream, we do it on Facebook and we do it on YouTube. Just be like a little bit on a Sunday evening. I hope you have time. But, so if anybody have any questions about the episode or about you all they want to ask directly, or, if y'all just invite people so we can chop it up again, y'all more than welcome. But where can everyone find y'all on social media? Or find y'all?
Right now, we're on Instagram at the Vibe Killer Podcast. I'm going to just be honest right now. I'm not really doing Facebook. I have an account, but I'm pretty much done with it. We're not on Twitter or anything right now. So mostly on Instagram, but we're on all of the Spotify, Apple. I think that's about it. Yeah.
Ashley, where can everyone find you if you want to be found?
Oh, you talking about me personally?
No, I'm talking about all y'all. It's all good.
I am on, my biggest platform is Instagram. I love me some Instagram. Easy peasy. Keep it, but I get on Facebook periodically just to see what people are talking about, especially when it comes to racial issues. Because I'm gonna speak my truth. But anyway, but you can find me at Hot Toddy 1007 at on Instagram, and then at the Five Killers Podcast on Instagram as well.
Okay.
My personal Instagram is KIDIAL.
All right. They may be private, so you make sure you got to get that request in. You know, they do their thing. It's cool.
Yeah.
Jack, you got anything you want to shout out for us?
Yeah, just same thing as always. G_Jack JAXX on Instagram. GM Jackson on Facebook. I'm probably not gonna add you though if you add me as a friend because that's a private account, but I'm there. So, but other than that, I mean, just follow me on Instagram. I think I have a Twitter. I'm not sure how to change my name on Twitter. I'm new to Twitter. Mr. D713 still hadn't shown me like the ropes on how to do all that stuff, which is not really his job, but he encouraged me to get on Twitter.
I'm a
so
friend.
I feel like
You tell me
he
when
should
you're
feel
ready.
obligated to help me.
You tell me when you're ready. You got like tell me when you're ready. When you ready, we get it rolling, baby. It'd be no problem. Y'all can find me at Everything Culture. You know, I got my personal, but best way to reach out to me is find on Everything Culture on Instagram, Facebook, www.everythingculture.com. You can find us on Tumblr. You can go to YouTube. We would love for you to subscribe to us on YouTube. You know, you can find us at least once a week. We have our streams. We have our episodes. Get to know us. You know, we want to get to know y'all as well. Or you can follow us on Twitter at EveryTHG Culture. But yeah, we're on Facebook. We have our group and we have our fan page. But we love what we're doing here. And we're so thankful again for our guests, Kimberly and Ashley. Thank you, G Jack, for swinging through this evening, man. You know, hope all is well with the family and kids as always. And here on Everything Culture, you know why we do what we do. It comes from our motto or a quote that we get from Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., that he said at Cornell College years ago that he believed men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other, and they don't know each other because of segregation. And because of segregation, we had discrimination. Our goal here on Everything Culture is to get to know each other so we can get to love one another. We have enough hate in this world, so we get to know why we do what we do and see what we see. We see our similarities. Perhaps we can get to the point of loving and making it a better world. So thank you all, and God bless.